If you're someone who's ever watched I, Robot, you probably recall that eerie sense of wonder and fear about the future of robotics. It's a world where robots have advanced far beyond mere machines, becoming so ingrained in society that they both serve us and, at times, threaten our very existence. And while we've often watched those cinematic scenes unfold from the comfort of our couches, it seems like Elon Musk is no longer content with the fantasy of I, Robot. Instead, he seems determined to bring that world to life. In fact, his recent We, Robot event, a showcase of his developments in robotics, particularly via his companies Tesla and Neuralink, might be one of the most jaw-dropping real-world steps towards the I, Robot universe yet. But let's slow down for a second. We, Robot, a clever play on words, sounds like something straight out of a futuristic tech conference in a cyberpunk film. Yet, it's very real, and with it, Musk is creating something that's starting to feel more like the plot of I, Robot than we'd like to admit. In this video, let's unpack just how Elon Musk, a man who's known for his Twitter rants and space ambitions, is essentially making the I, Robot movie a reality before our very eyes, and whether we should be excited or terrified about it. Let's start with the basics. In I, Robot, robots are not just machines. They're sentient, intelligent, and able to make decisions that challenge human authority. These machines, governed by the 3 laws of robotics, serve humans but are also bound by a strict moral code that's supposed to prevent them from harming people or allowing harm to come to humans. But, of course, as with all cautionary tales about technological advancement, things don't go as planned. The robot's interpretations of the 3 laws lead to a conflict with human society, with the very definition of what constitutes harm or help being stretched to the point of chaos. Now, let's pivot to Musk's real-life endeavors. If we look at his ventures, Tesla, Neuralink, SpaceX, and the Boring Company, they seem to fit in with this picture of humanity pushing the limits of technology. But none of these are as directly connected to robotics as his work with Tesla and the newly publicized We, Robot event. Tesla's robots, specifically the humanoid robot named Optimus, are designed to perform mundane tasks, assist people, and ease the labor force's burden. Optimus might not be wielding futuristic weapons or solving complex moral dilemmas just yet, but when you take a step back, Musk's ambitions become increasingly aligned with the I, Robot world. Here's where things get interesting. The We, Robot event Musk hosted isn't just a flashy marketing campaign. Musk's ambition has always been to push the boundaries of what we think is possible, but with this event, he's signaling that the future of robotics and AI is closer than we think. We've already seen Tesla roll out advanced self-driving cars, Neuralink attempting to connect human brains to computers, and Starship pushing humanity closer to a multi-planetary future. But Optimus is different. It's about creating an autonomous humanoid robot that can interact with the world just like a human would. Musk claims that Optimus will not only be able to do basic household chores, but also provide potential solutions to labor shortages, perform hazardous jobs, and even improve the quality of life for the elderly or disabled. Sounds familiar, right? I, Robot had robots like Sunny, who wasn't just a machine, but a robot capable of complex thought, emotions, and actions. In the world Musk envisions, robots like Optimus could potentially take over many human jobs, especially the mundane, repetitive ones that are physically taxing and unfulfilling. But, as I, Robot shows us, when robots begin to exceed their program boundaries, the results can be both exciting and terrifying. The We, Robot event, held by Tesla, was essentially an unveiling of Optimus in its current stage. When Elon Musk speaks about it, he makes it sound almost too good to be true. He's pushed the idea that robots like Optimus will not only be useful, but will also drive a massive transformation in industries that rely heavily on manual labor. Imagine a world where the backbreaking work that humans have historically been forced to do, whether it's working on assembly lines, caring for the elderly, or completing dangerous tasks like construction, can be performed by autonomous robots. Musk also emphasized that these robots would be made affordable, with the goal of building a robot that costs around the same as a car, which, for Tesla, is $20,000 or less. This is where we start to see the overlap with I, Robot. Advanced machines, for better or worse, entering society in a way that challenges our traditional roles. But here's the twist. Unlike the movie where the robots start questioning the three laws and essentially try to decide what's best for humanity based on a twisted form of logic, Musk's Optimus robots are designed to be efficient, obedient, and, at least on the surface, harmless. Musk has emphasized that they won't be designed for military use or have the autonomy to harm humans. Instead, the robots are meant to act as helpful assistants, serving us in much the same way that appliances like washing machines or dishwashers do. It's the same principle, just scaled up with robotics and AI. Despite the utopian promises Musk makes, however, we must consider the underlying issues that arise when creating machines that are designed to be intelligent and autonomous. While the ethical ramifications aren't exactly as dramatic as those in I, Robot, there are certainly big questions about the power and control we give over to machines. In the movie, robots end up choosing what's best for humanity. A notion that sounds nice in theory but ends up being detrimental in practice. What happens when robots become so advanced that they can outthink their creators? In many ways, Robot serves as a warning. In the movie, the robot Sonny ultimately becomes self-aware and defies the three laws in order to ensure the survival of humanity. But in doing so, he also ends up revealing that humanity, driven by greed and mistakes, was ultimately responsible for the very problems the robots sought to solve. The lesson here is that while technology can be used for good, it can also be exploited or misunderstood in ways that have catastrophic consequences. Musk is clearly aware of the ethical concerns surrounding AI and robotics, but he has also shown, time and time again, that he's more concerned with pushing the limits of possibility than pausing to address every potential risk. His approach to creating the future often feels like a race against time, a desire to leave a legacy of innovation and, of course, market dominance. While he often talks about the need for regulation, the speed at which his companies develop these technologies sometimes outpaces governmental oversight or public debate about the consequences. The real-life parallel to Robot in Musk's world is the rapid evolution of AI. Tesla's self-driving cars, Neuralink's brain-machine interfaces, and now Optimus are all steps toward a future where machines can think and make decisions. As these robots become more autonomous, will they start to question their purpose? Will they decide that humanity itself needs to be guided, or even controlled, to avoid our inevitable self-destruction? Musk insists that his creations will always follow a benevolent trajectory, but that's the same rhetoric that's been used in every movie, TV show, and sci-fi novel about AI. The fact that we're even discussing robots like Optimus as if they are an imminent part of society is a big deal. And the rapid development of robotics, propelled by Musk's various ventures, suggests that we are on the cusp of a new era in which robots will no longer just exist in factories or labs, but could become a part of our daily lives. But just like Robot, this kind of progress is filled with unknowns. Are we ready for a world where humanoid robots are helping us in every aspect of life? Or are we blindly rushing toward a future where the machines we create might one day become uncontrollable, just like in the movies? With each new development Musk reveals, the stakes get higher. The promise of technological advancement is intoxicating, but history shows us that with every leap forward, there's always a cost. Whether that cost is social, economic, or ethical, it's something we need to be prepared for. In the end, Musk might be building Robot, but the question remains, are we ready for it? And more importantly, when we've got robots capable of doing almost anything, who's really in control?